Hey, welcome! This is my first ever Minecraft video. In this one I plan to showcase and briefly describe how this very realistic roulette wheel of mine works. It took me 5 years to develop. Yeah, let's get to it. So, this machine works the same way that you would expect a real life roulette wheel to work. The minecart goes around and lands on one of the carpets with equal chance. But there are 9 red carpets and 9 black carpets, and there are only 2 green ones. So there's a 10% chance that it lands on green, and a 45% for both red and black. These are the 3 stations which you can use to bet on the colors with. The black one and the red one gives a 2 times payout at 45%, and the green one gives a 9 times payout at 10%. Let me show you how this works. You can bet with a completely custom amount, so for example I could throw in half a stack on black, just one on green for mid measure, and while this one has items it lights up, and all of those as well. These wall lamps light up if you have made a bet on them, and this one turns on if the hoppers are done processing the items. If you accidentally throw in your diamond sword, it will also turn off, saying that ho, something in the hoppers that you should probably take care of, so you do. That turns on, that turns off, and you can spin. You press the button, lamp turns off, hoppers lock, minecart starts moving, and eventually it should land on one of those colors. And if it's one that you have chosen, it is the green one. Right, so I throw in 1, 9 times payout, that should be 9, so I should be at 40 when I pick this up. I am. Great. Alright, that's the gist. Let me now show you how each of these lamps work actually. Hold on, let's start with that. Yeah. This upper row of lamp gives the player mildly interesting information. For example, this one tells you if you are cool or not. This 3 above each of the wool gives you an idea of how many diamonds the shop still has. If it's above 9 stacks, 19 stacks or 39 stacks, they each light up. Let's see, this one tells you if you are being processed, your diamond bet is being processed. So I throw in just 1 in here. This should light up. Yes, don't worry. We are counting your diamonds currently, that is why you cannot spin. Once that hopper empties, this one turns on, this one turns off, you can spin. These 2 upper lamps are responsible for slightly more interesting things. This last one, as I shown earlier, tells you if you have some junk in the hoppers. It also stops you from being able to spin and lights up. It also lights up if you have overbet, so you have a 64 maximum bet in this one. And if you exceed that, so if for example you throw in 2 stacks of diamonds, the 64 will be counted, and then it lights up to tell you that you should take out the other 64. This reset light lights up if the system is resetting, so let's just test it actually. I have a 20 bet on this one. Let's just spin. The minecart moves. Eventually stops at a color. Oh, I actually can just open this one in case I win to shower myself with diamonds. And I did. Nice. This one turns on to tell me that the system is still resetting. I cannot put any more bets in there. And alright, that's the purpose of that one. So I throw in 20. I should have 60 when I pick this up. Okay, so it works. Now I can move on to the next part, where I explain how each of these redstone things work. Let's go! Okay, come with me this way. Let's start with the wheel. Oh, ignore the cow. So the wheel itself is only a display. So the decisions are done in the back. Randomizers decide which color should win, and let's say they decide it should be the red one. The minecart just stops at the next available red station. Same goes for the black one, for example, they stop at the black. Or same goes for the green, they just go till they hit the next green. Let me show this redstone in action as well. Whoops, I'm so good at that. Still learning Axiom. So the minecart goes around, and all of these rails are powered, but when I flick a lever, only the rails that are corresponding to the proper color stop being powered. So basically, The minecart itself doesn't make a single decision, it just displays what the decision was in the back. All of the red ones turn off, and if I flick this one, all of the green ones turn off. Each of these locations can serve as a starting and stopping point. Placing these rails is actually a small nightmare, so yeah, watch out for that. Alright. Now the randomizers are down here. I used the regular drop pair hopper method, so this drop pair, for example, has two items, a shear and an iron nugget. One of them gets popped up, and if it's a shear, then this lamp gets the power, at power level 3. If it's the iron nugget, then only this one gets the power. So it's a 50-50 to be either black or black or red. As well as this decision being made, we make another one, which is we want a 10% chance to be green. How do we do that? Dropper only has 9 slots. We don't have a 10 slot dropper in here, so we just use through 50-50 that this power reaches this other dropper. If it does, then it's a 1 to 5 that this power will reach the lamp. So 1 in 5 and 1 in 2 together makes a 1 in 10. So there is a 10% chance that, oh, there you go, it becomes green. Oh, also this 10% chance, when it happens, it overrides this decision that was made over here. So if it's green, then we just ignore whatever we decided over here. Yeah, okay. Next up is the item handling. Okay, so this is the front of the machine. You throw your diamonds in here. Those diamonds get shoved into this hopper. This hopper can only accept diamonds. This is a regular impulse as we filter, so the comparator realizes it has more items now, powers this redstone dust, powers the repeater, but turns off the torch, one item gets sucked out. As well as doing that, this redstone dust powers this piston then pushes this observer above another observer, thus creating a clock, and that clock powers this dropper up here. Now this dropper has another dropper facing it, so these are facing each other, and this receives the items. So let's see, I throw in one diamond here, that piston pushes and pulls back. This one now has 2 items. So now this second dropper is practically holding an item amount corresponding to the bet we just made. Yeah, every diamond turns into 2 iron nuggets over here. So now, what do we do with that information? This comparator reads this dropper, powers this block and powers the torch, and the repeater powers this torch and this lamp, and now it tells you that of course we have a bet on the black. The next question is, how do we pay the player out with a multiple of this number? The payout is the easy part. This block gets pushed in front of this comparator that powers the redstone dust, that turns off the torch, piston pulls up that comparator, that is an observer, that makes a clock, and that pays out the player. Now, how much do we pay? That depends on the reset system. While this block is over here and this is powering, this piston also pushes, creating another clock up here that powers this rail, that powers this observer and this dropper. While this dropper has items, this piston pushes up and then keeps removing items from this dropper. So basically, the payout only happens as long as the reset system is running. Let's see it in action. Yeah, there you go. So now how much does that give out to the player? So this set was at hopper speed. Every item, every diamond gets put in there at hopper speed, but the output is at dropper speed. Hopper speed is 9,000 items an hour. Droppers are twice as fast, so that is 18,000 an hour, which means that it already doubles. If this clock that resets the system and this clock that pays out the player is the same, then it already doubles the items. So how do I make it do another multiple other than the doubling? That is that back here. So this is the same setup, but it's the green one, so I want a 9 times payout. So this clock is still the same, doubles what the player would put in if it went for the same length, but now the reset system is actually slower. So this reset system is 4.5 times slower than that one, because we, instead of a double, we want a 9 times payout. So in here I have 10 nuggets, which means I have simulated putting in 5 diamonds now, and while this piston pushes in, that pays out, and I should get around 45 diamonds, because it's 9 times 5, yeah. So I push the block in, that starts popping out the diamonds, and this starts a slow reset, like very slowly whittles away all these diamonds from the bat we just made. And this should be around 45, actually 3 more than that, because it needs some timing fixes down the line that I didn't include, not to complicate things. Yeah, alright, it's 3 more, sure. Okay, so that should actually be everything. Alright, thank you for watching. This system took me over 5 years to design, and I have stress tested it on multiple SMPs. This is my first Minecraft video, so please like, subscribe. You can expect to see more like this, but I mainly focus on fun Redstone for survival, so more videos like that. And there is also an explanation video coming up for each of the systems, if you are into that. Yeah. See you in the next one, hopefully. Bye.